Alright, we are live yet again. Working our way through this. Sorry I did not come back last night. I was not feeling the greatest last night. So I just chose not to. I feel like maybe I was using... No, I used that for something else. Oh. Stick my brushes up here. Use this one. I am on the plate at the moment. The lid I was using is getting kind of crowded. It really needs to be washed. And I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Okay. So we are going to just be diving back in here. So instead last night I kind of zoned out a little bit because I haven't had much downtime this week. And ended up trying to get some editing done because I was looking at what I've got uploaded to YouTube, and I was almost out of Little Known Galaxy episodes, and I was like, shoot, I know I have a couple that I didn't edit yet, but I wasn't sure how many I still had that I hadn't edited yet. I thought I only had like 6, and then I opened the folder. I'm like, oh, there's more here that I haven't edited yet than I thought there was. So I ended up trying to work through some of that. And I was distracted while working on that, so I only got through like 3 episodes. I was trying to see if I had put anything in there that I was like, Nisey, take this out later. I may have and missed it. That is entirely possible. So I do apologize if you come across any of that in the episodes, because I don't have time to sit there and rewatch back the full episode. And life is definitely lifing while I'm trying to record. We've either got cats being cats in the background, the dogs barking, Snuffles being pissy at the cats. In fact, in one spot, I'm actually apologizing for her barking, and then she does it again. It's like, oh. It's like, really, ma'am? I know this will probably seem silly. This is just the process I am doing for this, even though this is going to get mostly hidden with the other colors coming in. I do feel like it will not be the same if I skip doing it. Those other colors would look different. And I never know what might end up shining through. Any spots that I might miss. But art is what people want to make of it. There's one thing you can say for sure. It's definitely not AI. I may transfer over the main lines that I want to try not to lose from a photo, because I can't draw this for shit, but it's certainly not AI. That is for sure. So I hope everybody is having a good weekend so far. Again, we don't normally stream on Saturday. This is just because I am trying to get this finished. Because my mom is all in a tizzy about wanting to send out stuff. I was okay sending stuff out the second week of December, but she's like, I need to send it December 1st. Like, it's a little early. But okay. And there's Cow and Mr. Bean. They are doing their thing in the background. He's starting to give Cow breaks in between roughhousing with him. Because we've got two bird feeders on our one window that we had put there purposely for the cats to be entertained with, and we're starting to have the birds come back for the winter to the feeders. We try not to put food in them over the summer because they've got enough other food, but we try to put stuff in there during the winter. And so far, the chickadees, excuse me, and one of the woodpeckers that's around have been visiting it. So he's been preoccupied with that for a little bit. And at night, he hasn't been um, bothering Cal as much nonstop. There's been plenty of times recently where he's just been chilling on the bed in the evening, taking a nap after he's gotten in trouble for trying to climb into the trash can and destroying the kitchen. And his big thing is now that he likes to jump on the new stove. And we're like, no, absolutely not. So I might have to try to put the foil back on the stove on that one and see if that deters him. Not much seems to faze him, though. Like, Littles is terrified of the sound of tinfoil. She will hightail it out of the room. Mr. Bean's like, oh, can I play with this? What is this delightful noise? As he tends to do. I wasn't originally going to stream this today. I was going to just work on it off stream, but that was just the tired part of my brain that was like, no, come on. Like, you've come this far with it. Hopefully, we can get a little bit more done today, because I don't know what kind of time I'm going to have to work on it tomorrow. Right? Because we have Moonstone Island tomorrow. And I don't want to pass that up. I need a little bit of a break in between working on things here. Okay. Get all of that worked into there. So we're kind of making some progress down here. So I'm using brushes that I'm okay if they take a beating with. I wasn't really a full fan of the way these brushes behaved. They're okay. They do feel a little small in my hand. I think I just got used to the slightly longer handled brushes, and I don't know, like they almost feel too light in my hand. I don't know what these handles are. I don't know if they're plastic. I kind of like my other like triangle barrel brushes towards the grippy that's like a triangle. Those have a little bit more weight to them. Not tremendously so, like not uncomfortably. They do, these ones do feel a little comically light. I mean, if you're looking for something super light, these are the Arteza detail brushes, I think. I got the pack of rounds, I believe. Not sponsored in any way, I did pay for them. But yeah, and then I pulled out one of my one of my larger container lids, and I was like, well, maybe I'll use that today. And I flipped it over and realized I had not washed it from the last time I used it, and I have no idea what I last painted with it. Looking at the colors on there, I'm not sure. It might have been that flamingo, the small flamingo, because I did go back and readjust the colors on it slightly after stream, so it looks a little different than how it last looked when all you saw it. I just wasn't quite fully happy with it. It was a very strange angle in the photo, and I tried to do something a little different. Didn't quite work out how I was hoping it would. You win some, you lose some. That's all there is to it. Seems like I didn't get much of lighter color tapped into that spot. Or the lighter of the darks, really. So we're just kind of going back and forth here. So I'm currently using the colors Espresso and Sable from Deco Art Americana at the moment. And then the other puddle is just a combination of them mixed together. And I am going to be switching my paint brand again. Probably to Folk Art. Because I know I can get that at Michael's. And I can order it direct from Plaid if it comes to it. I can get the Americana direct from Deco Art. However, it was like a little more than double the price. What are you doing? Hey! Nana, the cat's in the tree. He's like 2/3 of the way up the tree. I can hear my glass ornament shaking. Oh, oh, he's fallen. He's fallen.
Mr. Beans.
Oh my god.
Mr. Beans. Get out of that tree. Oh, you little weasel.
How did that support his heavy ass?
We tied it, remember?
No, the branches should have like fallen down and
They
not
were kind of
supported
piled
him.
up and he was pushing its weight onto the center. Oh, you little fucker.
Mr. Beans.
Go on. Oh. Shit.
What?
My legs are completely asleep.
Oh no.
I managed to scramble over there for an emergency, but now I'm stuck in the middle of the floor.
Oh no. Sorry, I didn't know your legs had fallen asleep.
It's all the way up into my back.
Ugh, what did you do? How are you sitting? Oh my goodness, if that footstool is doing that to you, you need to stop using it. Holy hell. And a certain Mr. Beans needs to stop climbing the Christmas tree. I'm trying to get the good stuff that I put at the top. But yeah, the price direct from Deco Art was, I think I paid like $1 a bottle roughly when Hobby Lobby was selling it. To get it direct from Deco Art, it was $2.67. I was like, oh my god. I might as well just get Folk Art at that point. I mean, this paint's okay, but I don't know if it's $2.67 a bottle okay. Like, that was a little pricey. I mean, if we're gonna start getting into tube paint pricing, then I might as well try to find the least expensive tube paint I can. But we're not like painting every day, so I didn't want to spend money on a expensive tube paint that's gonna dry out on me. And then not end up getting used, you know? Just wiping some of the excess off on the edge of the plate there before I come back in with the lighter color. Okay. Just getting the lighter pass tapped in here. All right, I'm gonna do a maintenance rinse here. I'll say this paint does dry fairly quickly. Like parts of my mixed puddle are drying already. I think tonight they are lighting the Christmas lights in downtown Fayetteville. I'm curious to see if it's going to be the same setup as last year. One year it was mostly red and white, and it felt a little too University of Arkansas Razorbacks themed and not really much like Christmas. Last year, it felt a little more Christmassy. We're certainly not going to that tonight. That's going to be a madhouse. It's always pretty busy down there. And they do like carriage rides around the square and all. It's a very short um, square, so I think the price for the carriage rides was kind of expensive for how long of a ride it was to me, but maybe that's just me. And they had one carriage that was kind of shaped like Cinderella's pumpkin. Kind of felt like it was maybe more suited for a wedding than Christmas, but I gotta make that money to feed them horses somehow, right? So I guess you're gonna try to get as many different uses out of that carriage setup as possible. Kind of a dreary, cloudy, foggy day right now. At the moment. Okay. And back to our lighter color. That's a little thick. It was a bit thicker than I had wanted that to be. I gotta get this guy finished. So I have to get him sealed. And I don't know what sealer I'm gonna do yet. I hate the brush strokes that show up in the one brush on sealer I've got. So if I'm gonna be spray sealing it, I need to kind of work around the temperatures outside. Which might prove a little bit challenging. This week. Do another maintenance rinse that just keeps the paint from building up too much in this little tiny guy. So after I get this dark section kind of worked in here, I want to come back and then come in with the lighter blend. It's not going to be exact to the photo. It's just not. I can try to get it similar. I actually tried adding the dog's whiskers to the needle felted version of it, and it just looked so wrong. So I don't know what to do for the painted version. It looked like some kind of weird mutant cat dog combination. It was so bizarre. I was like, oh no, I can't leave it like this. This is not gonna work. a little bit more time to work with on stream today. Will we be done? Probably not. In fact, we will probably still be working on this guy on Monday. I was originally going to add a little bit more detail to the collar, but then I was like, you know, I don't really have that much detail going on, like, on the hat or anything, so maybe we just don't really need it on the collar. Like, I don't want the collar to be more detailed than the rest of it. That might be weird. Just a little bit. I'm bringing some of the fur over the top edge of the collar there. Because why not? Most collars don't sit perfectly on top of the fur. Hello. How are you? I hope you are having a good day. I am working on a Christmas gift. Frantically trying to work on a Christmas gift for my brother. Of his and his wife's doggo. I don't normally paint animals, so this is proving to be quite a challenge and might come out looking rather derpy, but we're trying. Looks adorable. Oh, thank you. I did a needle felted version of it that I haven't put up on my YouTube channel yet. That looks a bit different, but fiber is a bit harder to work with sometimes, so I still have to edit all that together 7 at a time. So do you dabble in any kind of arty stuff, or just like to watch other people? The dog's name is, oh God, what is the dog's name? Is it Lila?
I think it's Lila. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think it's
vaguely
Lila.
remember your brother saying that.
I've only heard him refer to the dog as like a nickname the most, but I think it's Lila.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
I have not met the dog yet, because my brother's in a different state. We've only kind of seen a photo. My mom doesn't have a cell phone and she lives with us. And he sent one of the photos of the dog to my husband's cell phone to show my mom. And so we had the photo on our phone. I'm like, what am I gonna do for him for Christmas? So this was the only thing I could think to come up with because anything that he wants, he just goes out and buys. So, and I don't know of anything that he would possibly need. And we really haven't had that much of a relationship. He's a half sibling. Um until recently when we took my mom down to go see him and then I'm like, "Oh, right, Christmas." Cuz he doesn't normally bother with me, but then he sent me something out of the blue and I'm like, "Oh shit, now I kind of feel like I need to get him something for Christmas." And I didn't have a clue as to what to get. Well, hopefully. I know he's head over heels for this dog because when at the time his girlfriend and him, she moved out and he was upset that he wasn't gonna get to see the dog. They set up one day a week that she was gonna bring the dog over so that he could see the dog. I'm like, okay. And a little while later, last Christmas, I think they ended up getting engaged. And I think they got married last January or this past January. I haven't met her myself. The one time that she came over, she works mostly in one city and then spends the rest of the weekend. It's a weird relationship setup. But she was working in another city for a while because she had nail clients there and she didn't want to lose them and they didn't want to travel to where he lived. So she would spend the week, I guess, with a friend, or most of the week with a friend, in the city that she worked in, and then would spend the weekends with him and stuff. And the one trip we were there, husband and I, well, the two different trips, we were at the hotel and he picked my mom up so that she could come meet the girlfriend and the girlfriend's daughter. And we didn't want to go over because it was going to be a lot of people and really, really awkward for us because my aunt that also lives in Florida and uncle were going to be there, and him and I don't do well in large groups of people. We get real nervous and stuff, and we were tired. We just wanted to stay at the hotel. So they all went over and they met. She met everybody, and then the last time we took her to go see my brother, we didn't even stay in that part of the state. We kind of dropped her off, and then the next day we headed down to Key West for a vacation where we weren't having to keep track of anybody else but ourselves. Because my mom needs somebody minding her. Not like she'd wander off or anything like that, but she has a fall risk because she's unstable on her feet, and just like making her dinner, and she handles her own breakfast though. And just like keeping track of her and all that. When we travel, she she's pretty unsteady, and she smokes, so she needs to go out and smoke all the time, and she keeps trying to sneak out of the hotel room and smoke without us knowing, and I'm like, how are you going to get back in? How are you going to get back into the hotel room? We have the keys. There's only 2 key cards. And we hide them so she can't find them. We don't just leave them sitting out because she's that unstable. And then she gets on the elevator and then she's not sure what floor the lobby is. I'm like, go on out of the elevator. And then she can't remember what floor we're on or how to get back to our room when she comes off the elevator. So she definitely needs a minder most of the time. So husband and I were like, yeah, I know you want us to meet everybody, but we're going on vacation. We haven't had a vacation with just the 2 of us at that point for quite some time. And we're like, yeah, okay. You guys, we like dropped her off with my aunt. She was staying with her. And then my uncle ended up in the hospital for most of the time that she was there. And nobody told us until like 2 days before we were supposed to come back. I'm like, do we need to come back? And they're like, no, it's fine. And then my mom was at my aunt's house most of the week on her own. I'm like, really, guys? Really? But, what can you do? So right now I'm just kind of tapping in the darker shades in the section that had the quick base coat done. While I still have the darker shades wet here that haven't dried out on my plate. But we were trying to get back there this month. However, life decided otherwise. And one of our dogs was being fussy about eating, and we had to spend more money feeding him or getting him to eat than we had planned on, so we didn't have quite enough. I was originally supposed to, husband and I, we were supposed to go to Orlando this week, like this previous week here, and we were going to go to SeaWorld and see all the Christmas decorations and everything because that's what I wanted to do. And like I didn't need to see the shows, I just wanted to see it lit up with all the Christmas lights and everything. And we were going to stay at the one hotel there that we liked across the street from the park. And shit happened and things fell through. My mom I embroidered something for her. It's already wrapped, so I can't show it. I got her, let me see here. She loves, chickens and roosters and things. So this year I was looking for something different because I've painted her so many chickens and roosters over the years on various things. So, I got an embroidery kit, and I've never embroidered before. But I got her a similar one that was just a rooster in the middle with like some flower, like a flower wreath around it. I've already wrapped that one. Let me see if I actually still have the paper for it. I might. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I dropped something. I do. What did I drop here? Oh, okay. Alright. So, I did this one. I tried to do this one. I attempted it. It is done. The ink of the pattern bled out a little bit when I tried to remove it, like on the one tail, but her eyesight is not the greatest, so I'm like, she's probably not even gonna notice. But yeah, I embroidered this one. It came out pretty close to the way this one looked. Um, so that's what I did for her for this year. And then I asked, because she insists on getting us Christmas stuff. I'm like, really, save your money for the trip. And she's like, no. So I was like, all right, well then how about some embroidery stuff? So I got another kit that I'm getting for Christmas of like all the different embroidery stitches so that I can try to learn about it a little bit more and some fabric so I can try to do some stuff there. Maybe I can try to embroider some Bob Ross stuff because that's what I normally do. A lot of the times I will needle felt um, along with Bob Ross painting tutorials, but instead of paint, I'm needle felting. Some of those come out decent enough. I do have the oil paint and I have painted along with it, but it kind of felt like, well, everybody's doing that. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I've got some of those needle felted projects archived on my YouTube channel. Does your mom like art? Who are the artistic one in the family? She would sometimes do some crafty things. She said she used to embroider herself when she was younger. She did latch hook kits for a while. Oh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. She does these washcloth pillows where she takes two washcloths and she takes an awl, AWL, or some kind of sharp implement, and pokes a hole through two washcloths back to back, and then we'll take yarn of a coordinating color and kind of do like a little knot. I can't describe the knot, where it's like a little like horseshoe shape and then she like pulls the loose ends back up through it and is basically knotting the yarn around the edges of the washcloth to form a closed square. But before she closes it, she stuffs it with polyfill to make these pillows out of them. Um, but yeah, she used to do latchhook kits. She says she can't see well enough to do them anymore, but we got her a light with a magnifying glass on it, on a little swing arm. And we got her a latchhook kit just to try because the canvas for it had the color printed on it. And if she can't see that, we can try to enlarge the directions either on our home scanner, or we can probably go to the library maybe and see if they can enlarge copies for us. And see how that goes. And one of those embroidery kits, it came in a set of 3. I'm going to give her one and see if she can do it. And the third one I saved to do for Mother's Day. So I've got that tucked away. But she's got all kinds of. I'm like, how many roosters can I paint? Like, I've done line art in them. I've needle felted her a rooster for her Christmas tree that she has up in her room. I made rooster ornaments for the same tree out of Sculpey. I'm like, how many different ways can I roosterify this before I start repeating the same stuff? And it starts getting weird, so like I don't know, man. And I think we bought her a rooster calendar as well. But I was gonna try to record doing that embroidery, but it was really hard to keep it in frame, especially when it was the first one I had ever done and I was making mistakes left, right, and center. Um, but if I keep wanting to do that, I'm gonna try to get a hands-free stand to give that a try. See how that goes. But I kind of had a good time working on what I did. I had to look up how to do a couple of the stitches though, because the paper explanation was not the greatest. The directions were definitely translated into English. And I was like, I don't know what this means. Like, I am new to this and this doesn't make sense to me. So I did have to look up a couple tutorials. And the one shade I kind of ran out of because they didn't say they wanted me to do a French bean or whatever. And they didn't say how many times I was supposed to wrap the needle around the yarn or the thread around the needle. And it turns out there's a lot of different times that you can do that. So I thought the standard was 3, so that's what I did, and then realized I'm gonna run out of this color. I think it was only supposed to be once. Um, because I was trying to read the direction for it, and it wasn't really saying as far as I could see, and I'm like, okay, I think I misunderstood something, but all right, so it's okay. I went and I bought another couple packs of thread that had a similar color in there, so it was in such a way that I could use the different shade of red on the body because I was working on the flowers when I was realizing I was gonna run out. I was like, oh, okay. She wanted them. She definitely wanted them. Um, except we had to explain to her that we don't really have anywhere to put a coop in the backyard. And because we're in city limits where we live, um I think max you're supposed to have, I think, is 2 to 3. And I was like, and then we have to critter proof the coop because there's foxes and coyotes and stuff around here. And she's like, well, no, I want it to be inside. I'm like, no. And she's like, yeah, no, it's going to be an indoor chicken. I said, absolutely not. I was like, we are not keeping a chicken inside. We have cats. We have like 4 or 5 cats in this house. And we are not keeping a chicken in this house a bird got in through our dryer vent one time, and it was like a vaudeville skit with the husband chasing the one cat, trying to swat him with a dish towel to try to get him to drop the bird, and the other three cats at the time were chasing the husband and the other cat, trying to get in on the action. And I'm just standing there watching this happen through the house, and I'm like, oh my god, there's a bird in his mouth and in the house. And this same cat also tried to grab one of the guinea pigs when we were doing out of cage time with them and run off with it. And I'm like, no. I said, Mother, no. And they're gonna poop everywhere. And she's like, well, we'll put a diaper on it. I'm like, no, not inside. I was like, you're gonna have to go outside and feed it. And she's like, oh, no. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah, they're all cute when they're little chicks, and our local Tractor Supply has them every spring. And I'm like, yeah, no. Like, I'm exhausted enough chasing after these cats and the two dogs. I'm not I'm not adding a chicken into this. I'm sorry. And then she wanted her own kitten or puppy, and I'm like, no offense, Mom, but you're like in your 80s, and we don't know how long we are staying in this location. We kind of want to move, but she doesn't want to move. And it's going to be hard enough with the critters that we do have when it comes time to move. I really don't want to add another, you know, 15 plus year commitment to that for another pet. So we got her guinea pigs, and then like a year later we ended up rescuing a kitten. My fault. But or I guess 2 years later. But she's got the guinea pigs in her room to occupy her. And she was okay with that because she was like, oh no, that's fine. She had guinea pigs before, and she was happy enough with that. But yeah, and I don't think it would stay either. So yes, we still have the kitten. Um, I guess it was 2 years after we got the guinea pig. We ended up rescuing. We were gonna foster the kitten. I think that happened the end of July. This previous July this year. Um, the our local shelter was looking for someone to foster him. He had, I don't even know how old he was. He was, his eyes were open and he was walking around, but he was definitely unsteady on his feet. I think he might have just started solid food. Um, but he had gotten grazed by a car, and he had some road rash on one of his legs, and they weren't sure if there was anything else going on at that particular moment. So they wanted him not in the pounds so that he could get his medication, and he was just too little and everything. So we lived right down the road from where the people that ran the pound lived. So we walked down and picked him up, and they by the time we got home, like 2 hours later, they're like, oh, we've got somebody interested in adopting him. I'm like, oh, okay. And like an hour and a half later, they called us back and they're like, oh, no, that fell through. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. So then he was scheduled to be fixed through the local pound's cat clinic. And they said, okay, so we've got somebody interested in adopting him. They are going to pick him up from being fixed. Once you guys drop him off, your obligation's done. And we're like, oh, okay. So, we kind of said our goodbyes to him. And that was pretty much the end of it. Well, and I was kind of sad because the house was kind of empty now. And I mean, it wasn't as chaotic. Like we still had the other cats and the dogs, but um, trying to readjust to a normal routine without dealing with the kitten because we had him sequestered most of the time in a different room. He was coming out to try to learn how to cat with our other adult cats and playing with them, but he couldn't be trusted to be loose all night in the house. There was too many little places for him to get into and just too much stuff for him to get into. To be out in general population all night. So we were taking turns sleeping in a spare bedroom with the kitten, and so we were readjusting. And a couple days later, I saw a Facebook post from our shelter that was rather upset because apparently the people that were going to adopt him ghosted them. They never showed up to pick him up from being fixed. And repeated calls and texts to the phone number that they had used to contact the pound were going ignored and unanswered. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So this was the second adoption that had fallen through for him. And he was a little tiny black fluffy void kitten. And this was the middle of September at this point. And the area that we live in, um very very Baptist heavy, and like Halloween is evil, some of them believe. So they don't have Halloween parties, they have fall festivals. Um Not everyone is like that, but some are. And he was definitely a Halloween kitty looking, and even in some of his mannerisms, he had done like the back arched and the running sideways a couple of times when he had gotten startled, which was hilarious. And I was like, oh. And so the husband and I started talking, and we're like, well, do we need to take him back into foster? We can do that. That's not a problem. We were kind of upset that they didn't call us and tell us. We would have come back and picked him up. And excuse me. And they're like, well, we have a partnership with this other charity, this other cat rescue that has a an adoption center in PetSense, which is the pet supply store that Tractor Supply runs, where it's just pets. And they were going to place him with them. And so they were going to try to get him visible in their store adoption center. But the few times that we have tried to cage this little monster for various reasons, because he was very darty towards the doors and we didn't want him getting out and stuff, um, we would have to put him in our little dog kennel that we set up with a small litter box, just temporarily, just for like a half an hour or so at times. He was fine, and we had some food and water in there for him too. But he protested very much and was very upset at being in there for even 5 minutes. He was climbing the walls of the cage, which was hilarious. He was hanging from the top of it at one point with his feet, and I'm like, this cat is going to lose his mind if he is in a cage all day in the adoption center. That's not going to work very well. And husband's like, well, I mean, there's not much we can do about it. And then he looked at me, and then we were talking, and we were talking, and we were talking. And so we decided that we were going to take him. Since this was the second adoption that had fallen through on this cat. And the husband always said, whenever he adopted cats before, he always decided to keep them if they had like bit him, essentially, or like not like viciously bit him, but playfully bit him. And this cat was definitely a nibbler. 1, 2, 3, and 1. And so this is cacao. I don't know, C-O-C-O-A. Coca cacao. And this cat has an absolute obsession with getting right up to your face and like biting your nose. Usually not terribly hard, but he like has to do it all of the time. So I'm like, well, you said this. So we ended up 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. So we ended up keeping him, and that was just titanium white. And so Mr. Stinky Beans is Mr. Beans, but we call him Stinky Beans because he's always putting his feet in our face and stepping on our faces and stuff. So he is now a family member. That does not, it's not the same color. Hold on. Did I not? Or did I mix it with that? That is that one. Okay, that looks closer to the light one. Okay, that's that. That is that. Did I take some of the sable? I only did this the other day and don't remember. Mr. Stinky, yeah, he's Monsieur Stinky Beans. A lot of the time. Constantly getting into trouble. He's still terribly, terribly darty around the doors. So whenever we're going in and out, or my mom's going outside to smoke her cigarettes, we have to put him in the other room. How did I mix this color? Okay, no, that's not. Okay, it's this one. That's my light color. I had to have mixed this with the sable. I had to have. That's why I didn't want to wash the plate in case I needed to color match. And it feels like it's been days and days and days since I last did this light color. Do you have an Insta page? I do have an Instagram. I haven't posted on there a lot recently. I got a little nervous about posting on there when people were like, oh yeah, the AI is scraping art and it's being trained on it. And I was like, ugh. Like, this is the world we've come to now. I do have one. But like I said, I haven't logged into it recently. When I think it's Nisey Paints, I believe, on Instagram. All right, that looks a little closer. Okay. All right, so it's sable and the coca and the white and the straight coca. My Ko-fi page is more up to date than my Insta. And but I mean, I guess that's just the way everything is now. I really should log back in there and post some updated stuff, and I probably will at some point. I just haven't had the full-on chance to recently. But yeah, my Ko-fi page, which is kind of like Patreon, but not. That one seems darker. Alright, we'll go with the mixture first. The mixture's a bit darker. And we'll go from there. I do have a Blue Sky account, similar to Twitter. I had to leave Twitter for my mental stability. It was getting way too wild west out there. So I ended up moving over to Blue Sky. I've got some art posted there. And I've got the YouTube channel where most of the live streams are archived. But yeah, I believe it's Nisey Paints over on Insta. I can probably grab the link for it. Yeah, there's the Instagram. Like I said, I don't have anything like up to the minute updated on there. But oh, no problem. I'll try to post a photo of that on Insta at some point, and all of the other places, and I might do a community post on the YouTube page for that. I think the last thing I did that got posted on Instagram was like back in January. That's kind of a sampling of that stuff over there. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you for stopping in and having a chat. And if I don't see you again, have a good holiday. But yeah, that Ko-fi link is going to be where the most up-to-date stuff is. All right, you have a great one. Thank you again for the follow. Mr. Beans!
What did he do?
I don't know, I heard something fall in the other room.
Is he being a little bastard?
So I am just coming back in with our lighter colors now. Are they actually playing?
I'm pretty sure. Normally, if she starts swinging, she'd be hissing and like rowing her brains out at him.
And fur would be flying everywhere?
Yeah, but she's just gently tapping at him. And like he chased her and she turned around without freaking out. And he did the Halloween cat get away thing and she followed him instead of tapping him. So I'm pretty sure they're playing.
Well, I mean, it's good to see that she may have found a buddy. that she's not angry at all the time. I'd seen this one guy that has a bunch of cats that I keep seeing YouTube shorts for. And I think he's got like 3 or 4. And the older cat he ended up putting on anxiety medicine. And one of the other cats has started just like constantly attacking them and fighting with them to the point that he had to separate them. And the one stays mostly in the one bedroom with him. And he's like, the internet convinced me that this cat was dying because the other one smelled that they were dying and was trying to end their life. And he's like, so I spent $700 at the vet running every imaginable test on this cat, and everything came back normal. And then somebody in the comments goes, didn't you say you recently put them on anxiety medicine? Like, that can change the smell of the cat to the other cats when they're taking a medication. And so he might be attacking her because she doesn't smell the same. But somebody else said, no, he's probably going after an easier target if the younger cat that is now larger than him has been beating the snot out of him. So he was looking for an easier target to win a fight on. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably what it is. Oh no, not a link. Oh, why am I not surprised? Wait, what does it say? Best viewers. Okay. Now I gotta take the time out to do this. Excuse me. Tried posting a link to that site where the best viewers are, it seems. Lock. And ban. Like, if those are the games that we want to play. So I felt so bad for this guy. I mean, I guess at least he had TikTok or whatever funds to help pay for it, but still. He got so freaked out from all the comments. I know Mr. Bean is giving Cow a hard time constantly because it's Mr. Bean and he's a kitten. And he's still learning how to cat. And he's just playing. Well, in his mind he's playing. I don't think Cal views it as playing, but what am I listening to? I know you guys can't hear it. Oh, that's a lovely version of that. Sorry, I have Spotify playing in my ears. I cannot play that on stream because I do not want to get copyright struck down. No thanks. I don't think it's really necessary because, you know, not everybody's gonna like the same music either. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to put on whatever you want in the background. More than welcome to. And a lot of the copyright free stuff that I could play is actually downright painful to my ears, like physically hurt, like shooting pains through my ears. So it's very uncomfortable to listen to. So that's okay. And I was using pretzel radio for a while, and the attributions were going to the chat like it was supposed to, so I didn't get nailed for anything. And then I got nailed for a copyright on part of it, and part of the stream got muted. I'm like, well, what the hell is the point of this if you're just gonna turn around and mute part of the stream? Like, this was supposed to be stream friendly stuff, and you're playing stuff that's not stream friendly? Like, that's some bullshit. So, no thanks. I don't want to get nailed with that again. Too many hoops to jump through for something that doesn't really matter all that much. Alright, so I'm just kind of dabbing in our lighter colors now. Time is flying here today. I have till maybe like 2:30 today. There's no school today. I guess we could push it to 3 if we really need to. So we don't have a stupid amount of traffic to contend with. Trying to get the dog to the park this afternoon. Gosh, my light mixture is already drying. That's aggravating. Alright, so just gonna keep on tapping in this lighter dark color. I haven't come back in to add the light yet. Okay. So I'm just kind of going back and forth between the cacao, however we're pronouncing that, and the darker version. I guess I could, well, let me do a rinse here. Starting to get some paint built up. And this guy would at least like to get this section filled in here as much as I could before I come back with the light one. So we'll see. Probably have to mix more. That's why I was counting out how many drops of paint I was putting in the lighter version. It's actually a little bit chilly in here. We might have to break down and turn the heat back on. We're going to at some point this week because the lows are supposed to dip back down into the 30s. Slightly annoying. I need to get my turkey out of the freezer tonight. Can't forget to do that. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it comes out tomorrow, but I'd prefer it come out tonight because there's always a little bit of ice still inside of it, it seems. That's up to you because you're gonna have to make room for it. And I don't know what you're in the middle of at the moment. That's gonna need a towel and a cookie sheet.
The usual thing.
Yeah. So the one that it's mixed in with the sable is actually kind of melting into that last layer as it's drying. So I was actually starting to have a little bit of trouble seeing where I've dropped this color. What have I done so far? Because these colors definitely dry darker than they appear when they are wet. It's not necessarily a terrible thing. I just have to keep reminding myself of that. I've also had paint colors that dry much lighter than they look when they're wet too. I will say this brand is pretty on the nose for the sticker color for most of the shades. A lot of times you kind of have to be like, gotta do my own swatches. But it's pretty close for the majority of them. I didn't didn't add the warm beige, right? No. I think I thought about it. And decided it was going to be probably weird. I guess at least it's not like melty hot in here. Though it must be pretty chilly because these lights aren't doing a whole lot to overly warm the room. Okay. Still need to post a photo of the magnet. I need to remember to do that. When I finished it the other night, I was just like, it's late. I'm tired. I've had enough. I worked on it pretty much the entirety of the day. I'd only stopped to eat dinner essentially. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this. And I'm gonna start to add in this light color. Trying to tap off most of it because I don't want it to be super heavy. I think I almost want to dry brush it, but not exactly. Just don't want to have too heavy of a hand in here with it. But I am trying to remove most of it if I can. I want it to be a little bit softer. This brush has been doing fairly well for that. Definitely starting to show some beat up wear and tear on it from all of my nonsense trying to add in the other coloring. Or it's just a piece of fuzz stuck in there. Nope, that's part of the brush. I am pretty rough and tumble on these guys. My mom was like, "What do you mean you're not done yet?" I'm like, "I'm not done yet. I don't know how many ways to say I'm not done yet." Like, she wanted to see it the other day, and I'm like, I have an ear done. There's nothing to see. Trust me, there is nothing to see, Mom. Because at that point, it was in a super ugly stage. I didn't even have the collar painted in. I think I had just barely gotten the base coat of the sable popped in. I'm like, there's nothing to see. What do you mean you're not done? You are done. I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, all you have to do is finish the face. I'm like, Ma, I still haven't done any fur texture in this section yet. It's nowhere near done. She was giving me a hard time. Because she wants to send this stuff out. Like, I can send it out separately. I wasn't expecting to send it out with your stuff. The husband's like, yeah, but if we send it out with her stuff, then we don't have to pay for separate shipping. She'll pay for it. And I'm like, fine, people. So I've been working on these gifts like nonstop this week, pretty much. There wasn't much time to edit the tissue paper video. I had really wanted to get that done before the end of the year. I don't think that's gonna happen now. I do think I need to do a maintenance rinse here though. My brush feels a little clumpy. So this isn't going to look exactly like the photo, just so y'all are aware. It might be similar, but it's not going to end up looking exactly like the photo and the shading and all. I'm doing my best. It was a very oddly lit photo because I think he was picking the dog up out of the truck or something. He has a little biker helmet that he puts on the dog because apparently he has a bike now and has a harness that he straps the dog to him when he takes the bike out. Like, he never struck me as the type of guy to dress up a pet. But, I guess time changed him. Or the girlfriend changed him. I don't know which. Could be either, really. Now, apparently, the mother-in-law and her sister did get the RV fixed, but they are still meandering their way down here. Yesterday, they only traveled for like an hour and a half. So I don't know if they were fighting weather or if one of them wasn't feeling well. I think her sister does like all of the driving in that beast for the most part. So we don't know if we should be expecting them for Thanksgiving or not. They're like, we don't know. We might be at a different family members for Thanksgiving. I'm like, great. Like, do I need to get some gluten-free shit in the house for your sister or what? I mean, I'm trying to make sure she's got food to eat because the last time something happened and they couldn't cook their what they had gotten for their meal or whatever. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it wouldn't fit in their cooker. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember something that happened a year ago now. That's not really feasible for my brain. As it is, stuff that happened last week feels like it was 2 months ago. At least I feel like we're making some progress on this today. And so far, the new stove seems to be behaving. So we're kind of wondering if the temperature on our burners for the stove were messed up with the oven on the previous one. Because things seem to be cooking a bit better on this stove than they did on the previous one. Which seems ridiculous to say. But the oven was definitely messed up for a while. And it just got to the point where we couldn't deal with it any longer. Like, it was flipping an error code almost every time we tried to use it, so at that point it was like, yeah, this is probably not safe for us to keep using, because there seems to be a larger issue at hand here. And then we're like, crap, Thanksgiving's in like 2 weeks. I need. Hi, Bean. Hello. Okay. He just pounced something out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was behind me. But yeah, we're like, Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks. We only had that oven like just under 2 years. We didn't have a warranty on it, or an extended warranty on it. And we'd already had somebody come out to look at it once, and that cost us $150 for him to disconnect the temperature, no, the thermostat, and then to tell us, if it does it again, just turn it off, turn it on. I don't see anything wrong. I'm like, really? Something's wrong. But the final straw was when we were trying to make tater tots, and within 15 minutes it threw an error code and had burnt my parchment paper black. And we're like, yeah. Like, something's wrong. It's like, I can't have it be throwing an error code trying to make Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, it wouldn't be turned up as high for Thanksgiving dinner, but it would be running like all day. Like, this is a problem. So we had to, unfortunately, dig into our vacation fund and replace that. We already couldn't go this month anyway, but now we're not sure if we're going to be able to go in April. It depends on if we can really tighten the budget and try to get the oven paid off before then. We will see what happens with that. Are you looking for the cat? Okay, where's Russell? Alright, well, you're gonna have to give me a second. Alright, guys, I need to go and grab the cat. I will be right back. You can... Oh, wait. Are you getting him?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, never mind. Husband's getting him. So you can amuse yourselves with my Be Right Back screen. But, husband managed to grab him before I could get up. So never mind. Don't forget to get up and stretch and get some snackies. Because I should be here till at least 2. At least that's the plan. I need to stand up stretch for just a second. Oh. Usually I'm changing how I'm sitting a lot more often. What is the temperature out today? Oh, 49. That would be why it's a little chilly in here. It's been kind of 49 most of the day. Alright, is that? Okay, that still looks a little bit wet here. You might need to put the heat back on.
Yeah, I had noticed it got
Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of start to move on over into here. Probably gonna have to mix some more of this color. So did you pull it or no?
Pull what? Oh, not yet.
Trying to leave a little bit of our dark edge there. So that's going to be a strap that is holding said hat on with. All right, coming back into our cacao. One of the houses, it's a couple of streets behind us, goes all out decorating for Christmas. They have so many inflatables that there's usually not hardly an inch of grass visible. And they started to put their stuff up um yesterday because we went for a walk last night and we noticed they had at least 3 new things, maybe 4. And 2 of them scared the crap out of me because they were motion activated. And I was like, oh my god. Like a Mickey and Minnie. And I think they said something about like happy holidays or some stuff, something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, that just scared the ever loving snot out of me. Don't know if I'm doing an evening stream today because we have a regular stream schedule picks back up tomorrow with Moonstone Island. So I don't know if I'm gonna come back tonight. I mean, it's possible. Really kind of depends on how tapped out I am after getting dinner and dishes and all that dealt with. So I'm just gonna see how much I can try to get through now. And hopefully can get through enough where I am feeling a bit more confident about Monday. Because that's when I'm supposed to be doing painting. And I'm going to have to spend some time away from stream working on that display log for the husband's banana slug. Because I am not going to have that done in time at this rate. I probably won't stream that. Because it's just me elongating the sides of the log. So I don't really think I necessarily need to stream that part. Like, I won't do anything major outside of stream on that. But if I don't end up coming back tonight, I might work on that a little bit tonight while I'm trying to get some more Little Known Galaxy edited. So I was like, ooh, I only have enough episodes to take me into like the second week of December. I don't have as much of a cushion here as I would prefer. Because I record those in batches. I'll usually take like a day and try to record a whole bunch. And then I'll come back later and do the editing on it. Just works out a little bit better for my schedule. And I was actually planning on recording some more of that this weekend. That obviously didn't happen because I've been here with you guys all weekend. Well, except for Thursday. Thursday we had to not stream because I didn't know if it was going to storm. Because they were certainly calling for it, and the one doggo has terrible, terrible storm anxiety. So like he's trying to climb me and climb furniture and climb in all of the wires around my computer, and it's just nothing's gonna get done when he gets like that. So we have to like sit him on the bed and wrap him in a blanket and essentially like we call it struggle cuddles, where we're just like holding on to him with the blanket wrapped around him to keep him from digging his feet into us. He didn't always used to be that disturbed by them. But ever since his brother passed away, it's gotten a lot worse. And it was his legitimate litter mate brother. We had two from the same litter that looked absolutely nothing alike. You would never know that those two dogs had the same mother in the same litter. It was wild. But his brother started having, his brother had all kinds of spine issues from an injury, and then developed all kinds of kidney issues and bladder issues that we were trying to get a handle on. And then the doggo was just like, no. So he got to the point where he didn't want to eat anymore and all that. So after we spent a whole night up with him trying to console him because he was in that much pain and upset about it, we're like, we can't keep doing this. So we had to Rainbow Bridge help him. That was 2 years ago in September. Yeah, it was right before we had left on our trip too. Because the mother-in-law was going to be dog sitting, house sitting her own house. Technically, we're house sitting it while she's not here. I suppose. But yeah, that was an awful night. But he made it to what? 12? 11, I think. I've lost track of how old they are. I keep having like Facebook memories pop up from when I posted photos, but I don't know if I posted those photos like in real time or if I had posted them like a year later. I don't know. I might have just been like going through photos, been like, oh, I should have posted this. Like way after the fact. I'm terrible about that. It's starting to look more dog-like. Kinda. I will say, I am pretty chilly. I think I need a sweater. The risk of getting paint on it. Like, I try not to get too much paint and stuff on things, but I usually have some clothes and it's like, okay, there's something messed up with this shirt. It either has an impossible stain that's not coming off, or it's got a hole in it or it's getting threadbare in spots. It's like, okay, this is a around the house, can get messed up, can get paint on it kind of shirt. This particular sweater's still somewhat decent, although the dog put a pretty big pull in it because his toenail got caught on it last night. And I was sitting with him on the bed, so I have to try to fix that. I'm not sure if I can fix it. But we don't tend to really go anywhere anyway, so I don't know why I care so much about having clothes that aren't covered in paint. It's so rare that we go and do anything where I wouldn't have a coat on anyway. Okay, I am going to have to end up mixing more of this at some point here. Now I might do an extra stream Monday night if I need to try to finish this. I don't know if I'm going to need to. That kind of depends on how things go on Monday. And how fast we get through everything. I finally kind of came up with an idea, holiday related, for us to do when I get done with this one. So, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to pull it off, but I've got two different ideas. At first I was thinking, well, maybe we can find a wintry cabin Bob Ross steel and try to use that, but put like a Christmas decoration spin on it. But then I was like, oh, maybe I can put a flamingo in the front yard. And then I was like, well, what if we just do a Christmas flamingo? Maybe I can try to come up with something. Like, you know how the gnomes have the exaggerated hats on their heads? Where you can't really see their eyes. Maybe we can do something like that with like a Christmas hat and maybe like a tangle of Christmas lights wrapped around. I don't know how good it would come out, but It's an idea. Well, she's certainly taking shape here. Some sort of shape. I'm not going to be able to get every little line of fur detail in there. It's just not something I'm good at. But we're giving it a go. See, landscapes are more my speed. My one definitely bucket list goal is to get to Key West during Christmas. It's an expensive trip because it's their high season, but I keep seeing all of the photos of everybody decorated for Christmas, and I'm just like, oh, this is my Christmas winter wonderland. And I definitely want to see it in person at least once. But that's gonna be a couple of $1,000 because the hotels get super expensive this time of year. Doesn't even have to be on Christmas, just like early December is fine. I mean, oh my God, could you imagine staying at any place that you deem like your happy place during Christmas? We cannot afford that. I have seen the hotel prices for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day down there. Oh no, 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 no. Those 2 days alone would be like our entire trip budget. So that's not really feasible. At least not right now. Something would have to drastically change for that to be viable. I think the one place that we've stayed at before that was charging like $600 a night for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And I swear, it seems like ever since COVID, hotel room prices have just skyrocketed down there. And like it kind of felt like the industry taking advantage of supply demand and like revenge vacationing is what I deemed it as. Like everybody just, going ham on vacationing and scrambling to go somewhere when they could. We actually got COVID the one trip that we took down there. Um, we're not sure where we got it from, but we think we actually picked it up from some cruise ship passengers that were in the same shop as us that were coughing their heads off. The timing was about right. Hey, 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 hey. Hang on. Sorry, Mr. Bean was getting a little too frisky with one of the other cats. And the other cat was growling so much it sounded like a joystick vibrating on a, not a joystick, a controller vibrating. Where did I leave off with this color? I'm not certain. It's not as noticeable with this shade. Where I've left off with it. Now I will say, sunsets usually hold a special place in my heart, but I was actually up before sunrise a lot of the mornings. And I couldn't sleep, and on a whim I was like, let's go watch sunrise. Husband was not ready to get up yet, so he didn't want to go with me. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. There was a spot not far from the hotel I could walk down to, like a block and a half away, that I walked down to go watch it with. And I will say, the time that we were there for the full week, last October, end of September, those sunrises were 1,000 times more magical than the sunsets were that week. I was like, oh. I think there was one sunset that, like, the entire sky just turned pink as we were walking away, and I didn't get a good photo of it. But the sunrises, man, they were pretty awesome. The ones that I did catch, I didn't catch all of them. I'd gotten so used to being up at like 5 a.m. from my mom trying to sneak out of the hotel room to go smoke. That, like, I was up, man. I was like, I didn't want to be up at 5 a.m. because there was a bar across the street from our hotel that was part of the hotel that was across the street with it, and they had live music going till like 11:30 midnight some nights. And while our hotel room did dampen most of it, you could still hear it a little bit over the TV. We didn't have the TV turned up super loud though. Yeah, it wasn't a super glamorous place, but their heated pool was to die for. Oh my god, it was actually noticeably heated. It was fantastic. They didn't have a hot tub, but they didn't really need it. The pool was big enough. Took up most of their parking lot. It was great. The only complaint I had, if I had to like really lodge a complaint, the continental breakfast wasn't great. And I've had better continental breakfasts at other places, but a lot of mornings we went out for breakfast, or we just had a chocolate chip cookie that we got from the bakery that we split. We had like a quarter of it for breakfast. I mean, you're on vacation, who cares? Um, and if I was other mornings, I tried to get a chocolate croissant and a smoothie, but those were expensive. So that's not something that we did every morning. Let me see about getting this other section filled in. Wait, did I do? I don't think I did. No. But we have a fondness because that's where we first met. Well, technically we first met in an airport. We had started talking, husband and I, online. And we also got married down there. But because Pride Week has gotten so popular down there, we had accidentally gotten married during Pride Week when it was like first really starting to be a thing, and now it's Pride Month down there. But we had gotten married then, and I didn't even look at the calendar of festivities that was going on. And now it's, oh my gosh, it's so expensive to try to find a hotel room around our anniversary. That's if we can find one. So we weren't in a financial position to go on vacation for quite a while. But I would check periodically, and it's just so expensive if they're not sold out. The one year I couldn't find anybody that had availability. I'm like, oh my God. It was like a month or two out, probably closer to 2 months. Everything's booked solid. I was like, wow. But now I see that they're doing festivities throughout the month of June. It's still kind of expensive to go then, but we might be able to pull off a trip one year for at least a couple of days. But we don't like to fly. We're not really fly people, so we drive. And it's a long drive. So whenever we managed to get back down there, like we stayed for 3 days one time, and it was barely like we barely had any time to do anything. So 3 days didn't really feel worth it when it took like a full day to drive down there. The last time we were there like a full week. We actually ended up staying 2 days extra. We came down a day early because we were trying to beat Hurricane Helene causing any potential driving issues, which would have been the day that we were driving through the Keys, and they hadn't issued any evacuations, so we're like, nope, we're going. They didn't issue any evacuation warnings or orders for tourists, so I was like, we're going because I'm not losing our hotel money. And when we had called to see about extending our stay a day early, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. We're like, okay. And then there was some concerns about getting home, and because a lot of gas stations through Georgia and parts of Florida were still out of gas, and or didn't have power. They weren't fully back up and running, so we thought trying to get a hotel on the way home was going to be trouble, especially getting through Georgia because we didn't know if we could make it through Georgia on the way home in one full day. We could have if we had left early enough, but my mom was dragging her feet leaving her sister's. She wasn't exactly moving quickly. Um, so this is like the part of like the dog's foot where it's like curled down. There's no nails showing in the photo, so we're just gonna have to pretend. Or use our imaginations that that's what we are looking at. I'm not sure if I'm going to add the little ridges to the collar. I mean, I don't really think I need to. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what he's up to. But so we said to them, we're like, hey, do you have enough availability where we could like extend our stay by a day? So we're a little concerned about finding gas and hotels to get home. And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Apparently, a lot of people had canceled their reservations, and the front desk was telling us that the entire island was at like barely half capacity. They were like below half capacity because so many people got nervous about the storm and canceled. Now, I don't know how many flights were canceled coming in because I have seen and heard of flights being canceled if the winds are shitty at their smaller airport. But we drove, so it wasn't really an issue for us. And we really weren't impacted all that much. There was a couple of downpours, and there was a little bit of flooding on the one street, but that would go down. And then we saw them like shoveling and sucking up all of the sand for where it had flooded over the one seawall. And the butterfly conservatory was closed one day because of the flooding, because they had their floodgates up on the building. Fortunately, my flamingo didn't get canceled because we had tickets to go do the small group meet and greet with the two flamingos that were there. We tried to do it when we were there, like the end of February, beginning, well, I guess it was March actually. We were there that one March, and for like 3 days, but they were booked solid. And we're like, can we be put on a wait list in case somebody cancels? They're like, yeah, but nobody usually cancels, but sure. And no, nobody canceled while we were there. And I came to find out that that thing books months in advance. because they only do, I think it's like 5 or 6 people a night. They get to come in like right as the place is closing, and it's like a private, semi-private, because you're with some other people. Interactions with their 2 resident flamingos. They do it in the smaller groups so that they don't get overwhelmed, and they kind of live in the butterfly greenhouse. And it was great. The one flamingo was nibbling on my socks and pinched me. Like I had a split-second knee-jerk reaction because she pinched me, and I was like, oh. But I didn't kick her, but my foot definitely jerked because I wasn't expecting it. Um, one of them was just absolutely infatuated with this one guy's sunglasses, where they just wouldn't leave. They kept chewing on the rim of his glasses. We didn't get to touch them. We weren't allowed to do that. But we did get to be like up close, and they were walking around us, and it was fun. And they were taking pictures and videos and stuff for us, so we didn't have to worry about taking our own. So that was fun. Doggo, you still have like another hour before we're going anywhere. Calm down. Not going anywhere yet. Okay. Should be able to get this sections of light fur done. I hope. Like, I would like to get the light fur done here. And possibly the base coat worked in on the face. Ideally. That is what I would like to get done today. Trying to make sure I leave a little bit of shadow. On up in there. Like up under the edge of the hat. And I'm trying to leave a little bit of a shadow along the hat strap. at least get this light fur popped in before I have to mix some more of it. That will also make me happy. Okay, a little bit more of that. Say it slowly. Turn it into something. A good something, a bad something, or a derpy something. I don't know which yet. I guess derpy can be good too. Okay. Well, we're getting there. Slowly, painfully slowly. It's gonna take as long as it takes. So I think we might be able to finish this on Monday. Will it be on the live stream, or will it be on the morning live stream, or will I have to do an afternoon live stream? That is the question. But I think we'll be able to finish it then. Especially now that I have remembered what colors I believe I mixed. I am tapping most of the go away, little fly. Most of the paint off of here because I want it to be almost a dry brush. Not like fully dry brush, but almost. Just to try to give me a softer edge here. Well, this brush is doing pretty good with it. I didn't really want too many like real sharp lines in there. I'm getting like a semi-sharp line, but it's also got a little bit of fuzziness to it. That one, not so much. It kind of looks a little mutant-esque here, but we're getting there. That was a little much there. I thought I had knocked off more of it. Apparently I did not. So my paint plate is nothing special. It was just a small plate from Dollar Tree. Just a little something for when I need a small guy. And with this paint, all I need to do is soak it in a little bit of water. And within a few minutes, I can either just wipe it off with a paper towel. If it's a little more stuck on, I can just get a toothpick and scrape at it a little bit and it should pop off. This paint is drying fairly quickly. So it is getting a little thicker. All right. So again, my photo is just for inspiration. Shading is not going to be exactly the same. Gosh, I really need to do a rinse on this guy. But at this point, Yeah, I guess we should. I was gonna say I'm almost done with this part. What you doing? What was that for?
Oh, eggs.
Is that what you all are having for dinner?
That's just what I made for myself.
Okay. Alright. We're almost there with this color up to this point. Almost. Okay. So let me rinse that. Whoop. Now, my dumb ass is thinking, oh, we'll probably be fine to finish this on Monday. And we might. We very well might. But because it's me, and I tend to underestimate everything, and I still have a little bit of time here. What was that? The hell?
What's the matter?
There's a sparkly wrapped thing that Amazon just delivered. I don't know where Bean is.
Just look out. I'll just grab it.
And I'm very confused. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back.
Not sparkly wrap. Sparkly.
What was it for?
It's crinkles. The cat.
Oh, it looked like wrapping paper. I forgot you had.
Too, so it's not just you.
I'm like, what is this? Okay. I'm not entirely sure what's still happening outside. Something's still going on outside. I just can't make out what. There's a van parked across our driveway. It might still be the same delivery driver getting ready to move. I forgot we had ordered the cat's Christmas present. Like, completely forgot. I was like, what the heck is this? Talk about being oh so very confused. Sorry, I have some sketch marks here that I'm trying desperately to find under my my wash that I did. Well, technically not sketch marks. They were the transfer marks from the photo that we did. And I'm just trying not to lose too much of it. Or at least try to paint it in such a way that I can try to find it again. It's like not all of this technically needs the sable base coat pass here. But yeah, no, they shipped the crinkly balls that we got for the cats in a clear bag. So it looked like it was something that had gift wrap on it, and I was like, what? What is this? Like, I haven't gotten any email notifications about anything being bought off of the wish list. So this is strange. say the least. And I actually don't know if we are going on the second park run this afternoon. It was foggy this morning. It was a little drizzly. Not yet, buddy. It's not time yet. I'm watching the time. It's not time yet. You're early. Not even 2 o'clock yet. But, it was foggy. And it was, at times, it felt a little drizzly. He didn't seem to care, though. So, I wouldn't really say it was raining. Because he hates getting his feet wet. And he wasn't really avoiding doing so. I'm just working on getting this base coat of body fur brown into here. This dog is an odd shape for me because it's a Chihuahua at an odd angle. Okay. So I had painted in the main eye color. Like the iris color. But we still need to do some work on the rest of this guy. Like, obviously, we still have a ways to go, but we'll have that much less to deal with come Monday. So yeah, I don't think I'll be back tonight. Especially so I can have a voice lift for tomorrow. Let me turn this guy a little bit more towards me. Just so I can get these lines painted in a bit better. Hopefully that's where the wheels don't come off the wagon on this guy. So if you're not able to stop by on Monday when we are attempting to finish this guy, I will try to remember to post the finished one, the finished photo on Instagram. It should get posted to Blue Sky and the Ko-fi page. This eye is gonna need a little bit of a cleanup, more than likely. Not yet, Zuzu. It's not time yet. It's still not even 2 o'clock yet, bud. You are early. And I don't know if it's raining out. We have to check. I know you're gonna be mad, but patience, buddy. Patience. Patience. Okay. Keep your fur on. Alright. So we're not doing too bad there, I don't think. We're doing okay. But I think that's where we will be leaving off for right now. Got a solid 3.5 hours of work done on this guy for today. And we will try to finish this guy up on Monday. Don't know if that's going to take 1 session or 2 yet. We will figure that out when we get there. But that's it for today. So thank you guys for stopping by and checking things out. Thank you for the follow. That kid, and don't forget to follow socially links down below. That will take you to the Ko-fi, which is similar to Patreon. The Blue Sky and the YouTube channel. There is a link to the eBay store, but I don't have anything posted on the eBay store right now. But it does exist. There's just nothing there at the moment. So I will see everybody tomorrow for Moonstone Island. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, have a good one.